You throw like a girl. You hit like a girl. You cry like a little girl. I'll be honest, I feel a deep sense of discomfort whenever I hear those. And I've heard it so many times. I'm sure you have too. And every time it comes up unexpectedly in a book, a podcast, or a movie, my inner soul kind of flinches. Because what those phrases represent is a deep rooted systemic bias that we don't talk about nearly enough. And usually these phrases are told to or about boys or men. Think about it. When a boy is told, you throw like a girl, it's not a factual statement meaning feminine strength. It's a structured injection of bias on three levels. One, you're not throwing according to what your gender is supposed to throw like. Two, your throwing is inferior. Three, therefore, the gender that is not you, that is a girl, is inferior. And it's not like you can even start the conversation about gender being a spectrum. And what I despise more is that in a lot of popular media, they make women or femme characters say this. There was an episode of Friends where Rachel Green says, crying like a little girl, I think when talking about Ross and their relationship. In Dan Brown's book, Deception Point, I remember the character Dr. Nora Manger, who is a woman who is the world's leading glaciologist, a scientist, is written as calling a team of people working on a top secret project, you girls, because they're taking too much time to get it done. Who is that demeaning? The people, the scientist, or us, the society where it exists? Hit like a girl is not meant as a glorification of feminine strength. It's a subliminal branding that it is weak. Cry like a little girl is not a tribute to emotional honesty. It's an embarrassing stamp of fragility, effectively saying that being compared to a girl is an insult. And a lot of this is said so jokingly. But we know that the essence of language is hardly ever neutral. When boys grow up hearing it, they're not just distancing themselves from girls, which is already toxic, they're also distancing themselves from their own vulnerability, expression, softness. And a significant part of the answer to why don't men open up or why don't they process their emotions probably lies in this childhood phase, propagated by patriarchy and those who vehemently support it. A system supposedly for men's benefit, but harms everyone, using people as pawns. And on the other hand, girls grow up thinking their identity is a representation of inferiority because everything they are and do is something that others don't want to do because it's bad. And people who don't fit into either of those buckets are forced into the biased versions of those buckets anyway. Subtle, but constant. It uses undercurrents to reinforce a social hierarchy that none of us consciously chose, but all of us subconsciously absorb. Language suppressing logic before logic knows that it's suppressed. Dismantling is the need of the hour because the things we normalize in jokes often become the things we struggle to unlearn in adulthood. Be gentle with yourself.